Salute, 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 salute. Salute to the chat. Re79, salute, Queen. Lodi, what's good? I see you on the road, man. Safe travels, my brother. Let me see. What we got going on here, man? Thank God it's Friday. I know that much. Thank God it's Friday. Bob, I see you, fam. Salute. Appreciate the pull up. Oh, yeah. I know you going fishing in the morning, so yeah, definitely appreciate you pulling up though. Like I said, I'm gonna get into chapter 8 and 9 of the book. After these two chapters, though, y'all gonna have to just go get the book. The book is 15 chapters. It will give you pretty much an in-depth, basically intake into my life, some of my trials and tribulations, and how I got up out of certain situations. It is volume 1 out of a 3-part series. The lovely 617, salute, Queen. Chastity, salute, Queen. Richard Emmanuel, salute, King. I see you. So before I get on with the show, like I always like to do, anybody who lost a loved one, all those who passed throughout this journey of ours, this meow, all the soldiers and soldierettes, we take brief moment of silence to make sure that they're never forgotten. And like I said, in the future we will be having like a plaque or something that plays while we're doing this segment of the show. But yeah, we're just gonna take a few seconds, commemorate them, and then I'm gonna get on with the show. Salute, man. Long week, long week, man. But and there's so much things going on in the world that I really want to start getting to as far as content and so on and so forth, man. R.I.P. Rich Homie Corn. That's I'm gonna definitely do a live commemorating the good, the bad, and the ugly. Also, as y'all can see, I've been doing a lot of AI research and things of that nature as far as AI in the workforce. What's going on? We're gonna definitely drop some. Oh, that's what's up. You got the book. Listen. Hit me on IG and I'll send you out a bookmarker. And soon as I get up with you, go ahead and autograph the book for you and all that. Plus, in the month of November, coming up right before Thanksgiving, I'm probably gonna start doing whoever can improve a copy of the book. I'm gonna have something special for y'all. I don't know what it is yet, but it'll be something. But yeah, like I said, this is volume 1 of a 3-book series. And it's gonna go from it's gonna do chapter 8 and chapter 9 back to back. Y'all just sit down, get yourself some popcorn. I'm gonna go ahead and get the ball moving. And then, like I said, like I always do, I'm gonna open up the platform afterwards. I'm gonna show some pictures and take y'all back in those days when Brooklyn was Brooklyn. And we're gonna journey and have a ball. So let me share the screen. Oh, which one is it? I think it's this one. All right. Yeah, y'all can see this? Hopefully y'all can see it. Salute. Surviving the City, Inside the City, Volume 1 by Chiplo Harvey. This is going to be chapter 8 and 9. Chapter 8 is called Crime Heights or Crown Heights. There were only a few weeks left before the school year would be over. My mother found an apartment on Bedford Ave between Park Place and Sterling. It was literally down the street and around the corner from where my grandmother lived. Our move-in date was 2 weeks before the end of the school year, June the 1st. My mother promised us that she would take us to see the new place before our move-in date. I was excited. Even though I would be changing environments again, It's like I was going to have the best of both worlds. I already built a pretty good rapport and some reputable people in Crown Heights, and I had my family in Bushwick that would always have my back. Although we were moving in the month of May, it was feeling like summertime outside. My Uncle Howie took me to Long Island to get fitted for my graduation suit. He even bought me a brand new pair of Wallaby Clarks. After shopping, we stopped by my godparents' house. Uncle Carlton, Aunt Yvonne, Aunt Ditta, and my cousins Christopher, Stacy, and Angie all lived there. Christopher had gone away to go serve in the Air Force. We stayed over there for a little while. The adults was laughing and talking in the kitchen. Me and my cousin slash god sister Stacy were in the basement. Uncle Tucker had a huge collection of kung fu movies on VHS tapes. We sorted through the drawers of tapes and picked a few to start watching. Stacy was a few years older than me, but we always were close. As the time passed, Uncle Howie took me home and told me he'll see me later. I put my suit in my closet and dress shirt and tie in my dresser drawer. I took a shower and relaxed. I had to put my box fan in the window because my room felt like a sauna. I went and got some ice, put it in a bowl, grabbed myself a washcloth and placed it on my neck. Before I knew it, I was out like a light. Graduation day was upon us. I don't remember how many tickets were given to the parents per graduate, but a lot of my family members showed up to support me. As I was walking through the auditorium, I spotted several of my family members. It looked like they took up a whole section. When they spotted me, I could hear the cheering and applauding, and some of the members of the family were banging on the back of the chairs. My Uncle Desi had a blowhorn. He made the blowhorn sound off. It felt like a movie. Soon everyone was seated and the ceremony proceeded. They then started calling out the students who had special awards. I got awards in math, science, English, and attendance. Also got an award for being accepted into Philippa Scholar, IS 383. After the ceremony was headed after the ceremony, we headed to Park Place between Washington and Clawson Ave. They had a surprise party waiting for me. I felt like a superstar. We partied, ate, and enjoyed one another's company. The spades and dominoes games was going, and the music was on point. Almost everyone on the block was outside because the weather was nice. My cousin Tion, Raw T, came through. He, as well as my cousins Makita and Takia, blessed the mic. Raw T could rap his ass off. My little cousins could chat. That's the Jamaican version of rapping. As the night went on, Royalty and myself asked my mother if I could stay the night at his house. My mother was a little reluctant at first because prior to going to Park Place, she gave us one of her famous speeches. She said, "Listen, when you get over there, on better behave. No jumping and flipping on any of the coaches and running in and out of the house. And don't ask to spend the night at no one's house. And definitely don't ask can any of them stay the night at ours." She had been drinking a little bit, so we figured it was the perfect time to act. She said, "Yes," but gave me a look like she was staring through my soul. Royal T lived on St. John's Place between Troy Ave and Albany. We decided to walk to my grandmother's house so I could get some clothes and then walk to his house. As we was walking, we started talking about a little bit of everything. I let him know that we would be moving closer in a few days, and I'd come chill on his block with him from time to time. When we got to my grandmother's house, I saw Super B, Ice, Quan Lo chilling on the building steps. I was about to introduce Royal T to them, but before I could say anything, they all started dapping one another up and speaking. Come to find out, Royal knew them from different events and school gatherings in the area. It's crazy because For Crown Heights to be so big, it's like everyone crossed paths one way or another. I went inside and got my book bag, threw some clothes in there, and me and Royalty went on our way. It didn't take us long to reach Royalty House. As soon as we got there, I put my bag in his room and we went outside. Some of Royalty neighbors came and sat on the steps with us. I was introduced to Nigel, Cliff, Boosie, and Johnny Blaze. It appeared to me like St. John's Place was just like Park Place, as far as unity and family throughout the entire block. After talking for a few, we all called it a night. The next day, me and Royalty went around a corner on Lincoln and Troy Ave. There was a Jamaican restaurant there, Daddy K's, that had video games in it, Double Dragon and Outrun. I still had a good amount of money saved from when I was with Fred and Lisa transporting through PAL. So I got $40, busted down in quarters, and I busted down between me and Royalty. While we were playing the game, Boosie came into the store. Come to find out, Boosie lived across the street on top of the cab stand on Troy Ave. I gave Boosie some quarters too. Outrun was my first experience driving an automatic vehicle. My Uncle Howie taught me how to drive a stick, but I didn't have my license yet. Although Outrun was a video game, in my opinion, it helped give a person the driving mechanics they would need to operate a vehicle. Before I knew it, the restaurant was packed. Some of the other kids from the neighborhood came inside at the same time, and only a few of us were able to get to the last board on Outrun and finish the game. We took turns taking each other's name down from first place. After a few hours went by, we went outside on Lincoln Place and decided to play Manhunt. Manhunt divided us into two teams, St. John's Place, SJP, versus Lincoln and Troy, LT. Although I wasn't familiar with the area, I was fast and learned the ins and outs of some of the tunnels and backyards that would lead from LT to across the Parkway, Carroll Street, and Union. We played Manhunt for a few. After that, a few of us walked to the McDonald's, which was on Utica Ave and Eastern Parkway. As we started to walk, we stopped on St. John's Place in Utica Ave. I was introduced to Darkman Lowe, Big Boo, Seaguard, Tory, Ralph Lowe, G. George, Claiborne, Buffalo, Pup Lowe, Star Lowe, PR, P, Sleep, and Frankie Boo. They were all chilling in front of Ralph's building, the embassy. After dapping everyone up, we continued to the McDonald's in front of McDonald's and near the Utica Ave train station. There were a lot of street vendors. Boosie and Royalty knew most of them by name. After we got our food, we went back to SJP in Troy Ave. We chilled on Little's steps, Little Charles. Little, his older brother, Boo Boo, his cousins Bourne and Sparks were all there. While we were sitting there, under Russ, Paul, and Limey came on the front and chilled with us as well. As the day rolled by, we pieced everyone up and me and Royalty went to his steps. The weekend flew by. My mother came to Royalty House. She spoke with my aunt, Miss Moore. Then they asked me if I wanted to go back to Bushwick or just stay in Crown Heights until our moving date. I told them I would prefer to stay in Crown Heights. To be honest, I don't know any child who would want to go back to school after they have already graduated. Plus, I was having fun between Grandma's block and now Royalty's block. We left my mother and Joe to go get some clothes and a few of my few of my sneakers. When we got back to Crown Heights, we stopped at my grandmother's house first. I dropped some of my clothes over there and took a book bag of stuff with me to Royalty's house. Me and Roy went outside. Nigel and some of the other yard men was outside doing tricks on their bikes. We sat on the steps for a few. They walked to the corner of Albany. Shatik, Assassin, Bona, Champ Low, Sport Low, and King Sprite were in a cipher, which is a rap circle. Royal T joined the cipher. He spit some fire bars, which is rap lyrics. Everyone was cheering him on. After he finished his bars, he introduced me to everybody that was out there. We stuck around for a few and then walked to Troy Ave. Bourne had a dice game going on. A lot of people gathered around while the game was going on. Crystal, April, Karen, Keisha Cole, and a few other gully girls was out there as well, just chilling. If you turned and looked down the block, there was mad people in front of the store on Troy Ave. Troy Ave was lit and stayed that way for much of the summer. After we left the dice game, we walked to Lincoln and Troy. I was shocked. I seen my homeboy O. O was in my pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade classes. He would also walk to school with us from the penny candy store on St. James Place. Me and O dapped each other up. He introduced me to Chill Bang, the twins, Twin Low, Torn, Scoob, and Spider, and Doobie. We all tripped of the times we had in school in the style. Then all of us went to the basketball court on Lincoln and Schenectady. We hooped for a few. Then everyone asked what the plan was for later. I said, we don't have nothing planned. They were like, it's going to be a party in Q-Ball's basement on Lincoln Place. I was like, now that's what's up. We'd be there. I can't remember whose birthday it was, but the evening everyone showed up and showed out at the party. Some females came from Albany Projects, and they partied with us as well. Royal T wasn't a big dancer, but I was. So I held it down for the block. Limey bust a few moves too. By the time the party was ending, everyone was sweaty, but had a great time. I noticed good music can do one or two things, either calm you down or rile you up. I must admit, the party was a huge success. After we left the party, a few of us walked to Utica Ave. We grabbed the back of the bus and rode it down to White Castles. That was my first time ever riding a bus that way, but it sure wasn't going to be my last. We were surfing. We flagged down the dollar van to get back to the block. After we got our food, the dollar van let us off at Utica Ave and Eastern Parkway. We walked down Utica Ave until we got to the Johns, SJP. There was a lot of people posted up on the corner, but everyone else was in front of Ralph's Lowe building. Shorty Guest Lowe, Lisa Lowe, Hat Lowe, and quite a few other females were out there. We chilled in front of Ralph's building for a few, then walked to Lincoln and Troy Ave. Cooper was on Outrun. Booby, Ron G, Dre, and Corey was outside the game room, politicking, talking. Big L, Ferg, Robbie, Party, and Q-Ball walked up. We all dapped one another up. Royal T, Ferg, and Big L started a cipher. All three of them were dope. After the cipher, we went and chilled in front of Richie House on Lincoln. The older ones puffed some weed, while the rest of us just talked about sports. As the night started to end, me and Royal T went and chilled with Toya, Cliff, and Nigel. We played some Uno, Rummy, which is card game. Rummy was played with regular cards, while Uno had its own special deck. Seems like everyone had their own set of rules for Uno, which made the game intense at times. One main rule we all agreed on was stacking and being able to drop a draw 4 on a draw 2. We played till midnight. Then me and Royal T walked home. So far, my summer was off to a great start. Before I knew it, it was time for us to move in on Bedford Ave between Park and Sterling. When we pulled up with the U-Haul, there were several people outside just looking. I remember my upstairs neighbor, Cool Cat, and his aunt Tina asked if we needed any help. Daphne said, "We appreciate it, but we got plenty of help now. Later on though, if we don't want to stop by, you're more than welcome." After we got everything in the house, Daphne wasted no time. She opened the front window and let 3 rounds off from her gun. Bang, bang, bang. We all walked outside like a militant unit. The people outside were shocked. Many looked at us, but quickly turned their heads not to make eye contact with us. Cool Cat walked over to me and said, "Hey, yo, your mom's is vicious. We're going to get along just fine." Daphne, Joe, and my sisters walked back upstairs. Me, Royalty, and Cool Cat walked to the corner store. We ran into Big Head Booster, Corey, Lil Sean, and Francis. Cool Cat introduced me and Royalty to everyone. We dapped each other up and continued to walk in the store. We got some sodas and chips and walked back to my house. That's the end of chapter 8, y'all. Let me pause that real quick. I'm gonna go into chapter 9. I promise y'all. Let me just show y'all some pictures from some of these events. So them basement parties. This right here. This is called Mutt's basement. Mutt used to have the ill basement parties on Troy Ave. That's a lot of us when we were younger. Shout out to the Dread Compa. R.I.P. to him. That's his brother Abdul right there. That's Boosie in the front with his hat. That's Little standing right there with the bottle. But next to him is Party. My brother Yellow. We all, that's what we used to do. We used to go to these parties and really have fun. It's another event. Cue ball basement party. R.I.P. Prince Low with the red jacket on. That's Little in the middle. That's Party. Let me see. What else did I speak on? The corner of St. John's and Troy Ave. Let me just blow this picture up real quick. Back in those days, if you was about a certain lifestyle, you could come outside comfortably and have heavy jewelry on your neck. As you can see, me and Lou both have heavy jewelry. And I'm gonna get into later like how all of that transpired, what was going on, what the times was like. And like I said, this is not to glorify any of those things that we did in the past. It's basically to show the youths another way and let them know that there is other ways of getting fly and all the things that they particularly want to get without, doing crazy stuff to get it. I'm gonna go ahead, jump right back into the book that y'all finish here in chapter 9, and then, like I said, I'll show some more pictures. Let me get this picture off the screen. All right. Okay, let me go back here. Here we go. Ooh, I'm gonna jump right into chapter 9. Here we go. Chapter 9 is called My Brother's Keeper. We lived on top of a laundromat. Next door, there was a travel agency. Both were owned by the same person. This would be my first time living on a block where my family present didn't dominate the block. The good thing is, my mother's attitude and respect for our neighbors quickly helped our neighbors become family. Here it is, we weren't on the block for 2 weeks, and already we were hosting spades and domino tournaments. In the early part of the day, several of the kids from the block would come play the Nintendo with me, or the females would play double dutch with my sisters. One thing about British/Jamaican culture, they always were ready to feed someone. Daphne would constantly cook, and whoever was in the house at the time got a plate to eat and one to take home. Everything was going smoothly. One Friday evening, when Daphne got home from work, we decided to go to my Uncle Banner and Aunt Lila's house on Park Place between Clawson and Washington Ave. We took a cab there. After getting under the cab, I saw my younger cousins, Makita, Takia, and Kima. They were chilling on the front step. My cousin Sean, Malika came outside as well. Down the street in front of Miss Knight building were the twins, Shaka, Heidi, Bugsy, Stan, and Devo. Everybody was just playing music and having a great time. After a few minutes, a patrol car pulled up and asked them to turn the music off. To me, it was very odd because it was a Friday and wasn't late. Also, the music wasn't loud. Nonetheless, the officer got loud and obnoxious and pulled the electrical cord out of the street outlet. He then attempted to grab the big bass speaker and put it in the squad car. To me, all of this was unnecessary because we weren't bothering anyone. And like I said before, it was Friday early evening, 5 p.m. to be exact. I'm not going to say who, but someone went to the roof and heaved a brick and a garbage can at the cop car. It went straight through the window and hit the cop or hit the officer in his head. The cop managed to pull down the street and call for backup. Within minutes, the block was flooded with officers. They were searching all over for whoever threw the things off the roof. Helicopters showed up and was scanning the area looking for clues. All of us went inside the house. We were shocked at what transpired. It looked like a scene from a movie. They never did find out who did it. Oh well. We started up a spades game and battled for hours. My older cousins Rosie and Ethel came by and joined the action. Rosie's kids are my little cousins, Danny, Javon, and Shanae. Ethel only had one child at the time, my little cousin Boo. God bless his soul. We all played together until the wee hours of the morning. Danny asked my mother if he could come stay the weekend at my house. Daphne said, sure. After we leave, we'll stop by your house so you can get some clothes. And then me I go bring you to my yard. Danny was a few years younger than me. Although he was my little cousin, he was more like a little brother to me. We would always try to stay at one another's house so we could extend our playtime. After we left Banner and Lila's house, we went straight to St. James' place so Danny could grab a few things. He packed his bag quickly and then we left. When we arrived at my house, the block was clear. We went straight upstairs and started to prepare for bed. The next morning when we woke up, Daphne made a huge breakfast. We ate like kings. As soon as we finished eating, we immediately jumped on a Nintendo and began playing. At around 11, Cool Cat and Little Sean knocked on my door. I introduced them to my cousin Danny, and we all took turns playing the game. At around 1:30 a.m., I asked my mother if we could go to the park on Grandma's block and play some basketball. She said yes, but wanna make sure you behave on yourself and look out for one another. I said, all right, Ma. I'm going to check on Grandma. Then we're going to hoop for a little while. I'll make sure we all safe. I was the oldest out of everyone that was with me. So that made me my brother's keeper. I was going to make sure we were safe no matter what. I remember going in my stash and pulling out $25 so we could all get something from Miss Pearl's. Miss Pearl's was a penny candy store located on Park Place in Rogers. Her store reminded me of the penny candy store on St. James Place. After we left Miss Pearl's, we stopped by my grandmother's house. She asked us if we were hungry, and we all said no. We talked to her for a little while, then went to the park. As we were about to cross the street, Super B and a few of his cousins saw us and came to the park too. We played 21, then we ran a few 3-on-3 games. After we got tired, we decided to walk back to my house. We decided to walk Little Sean home first, being Cool Cat lived in my building. Once we knew Little Sean was safe, we went straight home. Cool Cat went inside early. He told us he'll see us tomorrow. Once we got in the house, my mother asked me and Danny if we wanted some Chinese food for dinner. We said yes. She wrote a list of what to get from the Chinese restaurant and gave me a $20 bill. Food stamp. The Chinese store was on Franklin between Park Place and Prospect. Me and Danny walked and talked all the way there. As soon as I put the order in and was about to reach in my pocket to pull out the money, two individuals came in the Chinese restaurant. They had on a handkerchief as masks, and one stood and blocked the Chinese store front door while the other pulled his pistol out and said, "This is a robbery. Don't make this a homicide. Everybody don't move." The guy that was blocking the door, handkerchief was coming off his face. He pointed his pistol at me and said, "Shorty, empty your pockets." I was shocked, but pissed at the same time. I dug into my pocket and gave him the $20 in food stamps, as well as whatever change I had from when we left Miss Pearl's. He then pointed the gun at Danny and said, "Shorty, you too." When he said it, his mask slipped down even further. I was able to get a great look at his face. Ironically, I recognized him. He was from Underhill. I've seen him on quite a few occasions at my Uncle Bandit's basement party on Park Place. I even heard his name before. I said, Man, he's just a kid. I gave you all we had." He pointed the gun back at me and said, "Shorty, I don't like the bass in your voice. You think shit is sweet? Why you keep recklessly eyeballing me? I feel like you sizing me up." He then cocked the gun back and looked like he was about to squeeze. Luckily, a patrol car came flying by the restaurant with its sirens on. The two guys quickly turned their attention to the front door. Once the coast was clear, they got out of there. The Chinese lady saw the frustration in my face. I was pissed because I was put in charge to be Danny's keeper, and I felt like I failed him. All that boxing training I've done, I realized I couldn't outbox a gun. The Chinese lady gave us the food for free. She said, "Go straight home. Please be careful." I started to walk, but kept looking at Danny, asking him if he was all right. Danny said, "Yeah, I'm just glad things didn't go left." He then said, "I know that guy. His name is Butch." I said, "Yeah, well, I got something for him." When we got to the house, I never mentioned anything to my mother. We ate, and Danny and I started playing Nintendo. Danny fell asleep around 2 a.m. I stayed up. My mind just kept reflecting on the fact that I got robbed and damn near got myself and my little cousin killed. Butch was going to pay for what he had done, and I was going to make sure of it. I finally dozed off. But when I woke up, I still had vengeance on my mind. I still had a little over six grand left from my time with Fred and Lisa. I wanted to get my own gun at first. I was going to just run things by Fred and Chris, but I decided only one person that I could confide this info with, that was my Uncle Howie. Uncle Howie had his fair share of street cred before he went legit with his trucking company. I heard stories of his treacherous ways in Jamaica and England. I called Uncle Howie and told him I needed to see him ASAP. He told me he would come through to drop Danny home and I could chill with him by his crib for a few. Once Uncle Howie got there, we dropped Danny home. I let my Uncle Howie know that I wanted a burner gun. I never told him why, and he never tried to pry it out of me. He said, "Keep, if someone can get you mad, they can control you. You should never brandish a gun unless you're prepared to take someone's life and throw yours away." I heard him, but at that particular moment, I wasn't trying to hear him. All that positive mumbo jumbo went in one ear and right out the other. I fronted like I understood, and I agreed with him, but in the back of my mind, when I caught Butch, my plan was to finish him. When I left my Uncle Howie's house, we went and got some food. I let him know I appreciated his advice and his time. As soon as I got in my house, an idea came to my head. Why risk trying to go buy a gun when my mother had a gun in the house? I knew where she kept it. All I had to do was sneak it out the house and put it back after I laid Butch to rest. That evening, I plotted and schemed on how I was going to get her burner out of the house and what I was going to wear to go look for Butch. I figured most evenings my mother got home a little after 6:30 p.m. And I've never seen her come home and check the guns. So all I had to do was get the gun when Nisha and Kiki were outside playing and put it back the morning after my mother left for work. The next day, I went to the store and bought some dark brown foundation and a hat with dreadlocks in it. I bought a mask. My mother kept surgical gloves in the house, so I grabbed a few pair of them and put them under my mattress. Now I had to do some. No, oh, now all I had to do was check Brutus' known hangout spots and pray I could catch him slipping. Brutus was Butch. Same person. Got him. The good thing is I had the upper hand because he had no clue I was looking for him. See, Brutus made a terrible mistake. He left me alive, and he didn't know that I was at my breaking point. See, I have been in two other situations where I froze. One was with Puppet and my mom. The second one was my teacher, Miss Epstein. And now Brutus had tipped the scale by robbing me and threatening my family's life. A few days went by, but then I finally saw him. He was on Park Place in Underhill, involved in a dice game. I quickly went home, jumped on my bike, and rode back to where he was at. As I got closer to him, I started seeing red. I laid my bike down on Sterling Street. My heart was pounding, and each step I took, my adrenaline was at its apex. I tried not to look too conspicuous, but I got antsy. One of the guys that was next to him saw me and started making his way towards a nearby car. I assumed they had a burner stashed under there. I quickly backed out the hammer, and I let 3 shots go. Boom, boom, boom. As I saw the sparks from the bullets hitting the gate, Brutus began to run. I gave chase. When he got to the middle of the next block, I seen him grab his leg and stumble to the ground. I honestly thought I caught him in the leg, but he caught a cramp. I stood over him with the burner and straight at it. I stood over him with the burner aimed straight at his head. I see his little beady eyes filled with tears. He began to beg for his life. He said, "Please, son, you can have it all. I got 1,600 on me. Plus my watch is a real Rolex, worth about $4,000. Take it all. It's yours. Just please don't kill me." I kept the burner close to his head. I made sure not to say a word because I didn't want him to recognize my voice. I quickly dug his pockets, tucked the money in my hoodie pocket, and relieved him of his rollie. From the corner of my eye, I saw a little boy standing there. The little boy said, "Please don't hurt my brother." I was about to let Brutus be, but then he said, "This nigga scared." He was right. I was petrified, but I was too far involved now, and all I could remember was my Uncle Howie saying, "Don't burn the shotgun unless you're prepared to use it." I closed my eyes and pulled the trigger. Click, click, click. God was on Brutus' side that night. My mother only had 3 bullets. 1 in the head and 2 in the clip. And of course, my dumbass didn't check the gun before I grabbed it. I took off running. No one followed me. After I got a good distance away, I took the gun and slid it in my hoodie pocket. I threw my mask and dreadlock hat away. I swiftly peeled off the surgical gloves and began walking normally. I was still shaking. Every car or person I walked past had me feeling like they had seen what I just did. I took an alternate route home, just in case I was being followed. My conscience started to speak to me and said, "Boy, you were inches away from crossing a line you can't come back from." One thing about the streets, you never know who's watching. When I turned on my street, there were squad cars everywhere. The officers had young men in cuffs sitting on the curb. Another officer was walking side by side with a female. You could hear the female say they were involved also. She was pointing at two other males who were standing nearby. Several ran over to the two males and cuffed them. I calmly walked into my building, ran up the stairs, and put my mother's gun back where I got it from. I went and took a nice long shower and scrubbed my body and arms very intensely. It's amazing what a person would do in the heat of rage. After my shower, I put the money and the Rolex in my little stash spot where I have my other money at. I truly am my brother's keeper or my cousin's keeper. Listen, y'all gonna have to get the book, man. That was it, the grand finale. You know, I gave y'all all the way up to chapter 9. You know, chapter 10, the book goes up to chapter 15. Like I said, get the book, man. Salute, salute, salute. Yeah. Like I said, the book is on Amazon. The Mars didn't drop the link for the book in the chat. So if y'all looking for it, y'all can find it there. Like I said, it goes up to chapter 15, and it's just volume 1 of a 3-book series. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down the title for y'all so y'all can really get a glimpse of what's going on. So surviving. Oh, matter of fact, let me do this. Let me drop the link for anybody that wanna come up here and shoot the breeze real quick, because I know some other people who been through some things, lived through some things, and they remember these times. They remember how Brooklyn was back in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, so on and so forth. One thing for sure, two things for certain. Paper food stamps, you was able to get any and everything with paper food stamps. From Chinese food to you name it, they gave it to you. It was crazy. I know a lot of times people might say, well, hey, why did you take it to that extreme of, he took food stamps from you, and here it is, your rage made you get active. It's a lot of times other things that youths go through bring them to a breaking point. Like I said, I was put in 2 other situations where I feel like I froze. And I didn't not only defend myself, but I didn't defend my loved ones. So I wasn't about to allow another situation to occur. Gene D, salute. I wasn't about to allow another situation to occur where I freeze. Especially when your loved ones and your life is in each other's hands. So I'm very huge on family and respect and so on and so forth. Of course, now I'm nowhere near what I was back then. Back then I was surviving the city inside the city. So, I adapted to my environment, and there was a lot of wolves, so I became a wolf. Uh, Unfortunately, you know, it put me in situations that I didn't have to be in, man. My mother had a good job. She did the best she could raising us. and I had full family support. It's just that, like I said, on the block, she always preached that everybody was your family. So if I seen somebody else not have it, it was like, yo, I'm gonna help them get it. And it was to the point of by any means necessary. For those who know the story of the low lives and what was transpired and what we took for, I'm gonna let y'all know I was a lousy low life. Uh, I hated the boost. I didn't care for the sneaking, the you know, I just couldn't really get with it. But you know, I put in a lot of me out miles. uh I was more so a stickle kid, and unfortunately the adrenaline rush that it give you from being behind a firearm sometimes is not sometimes, most of the time it's bad energy, and it leads, it gives you bad results. So any teen out there listening, I see a lot of teens now turn around shooting up schools and doing crazy things. Um, Back in them days, back in our it wasn't so much of that. It wasn't so much of people, you know, hurry up, run, go get a gun and shoot up a school because you got an issue with somebody. It just wasn't like that. It was, you fought, you might have got jumped, and you came back, you fought the next day, and so on and so forth. It was more so, it was a lot of hand to hand combat back then. But then you like I said, in our area, you had wolves, and wolves respect wolves, uh, per se. Um, let's see. For those who missed chapter 8, I kind of was showing some pictures, talking about some times. I don't know if you're in the chat, but that's me and my cousin Royalty. In the chat, he should be Top Bugs. That's us. Uh, I mean, as you can see, that's young Chip. That's misguided youth. Uh, this is actually grandma house on Park Place between Notion and Rogers. They had a studio and on that block. Anybody do the history on Park between Notion and Rogers? Y'all know it's it is what it is. These the basement parties. Shout out, like I said, to the Dread Al Compa. That's his brother right there beside me. Abdul. Uh, R.I.P. to the Dread. That's Little. That's Boosie. The whole shout out to the whole Boo family, man. From Frankie Boo to Boom Boom to Big Boo. Who else? I know I'm forgetting somebody. Shoot. It's another one of them. Brian Boo, the oldest. The whole Boo family get it in. Like I said, we're going this day right here. I'm gonna go back to the story of that particular day at a later time. Uh, Man, what we've been up here almost an hour, 49 minutes. So the link is in the chat. Anybody want to come up for a few minutes? We're gonna shoot the breeze. We could talk about Brooklyn and any experiences that y'all might have had where you was put in situations where you it was defend yourself or just go out savagely. And like I said, no matter how much the elders try to tell you, and like I said, my uncle gave me great advice. If anybody could get you mad, they could control you. When you are 12, 13, you're not trying to hear that. All you know is the environment and what it takes to survive in that environment. All that other stuff is like I said, kind of mumbo jumbo. But as I speak to y'all today, I'm letting y'all know it is helpful, man, for us to still reach out to the youth and guide them a different way, man. You know, for all of those who lost their life recently in that school that just got shot up in Georgia, man. My heart pours out to those families, man. Can you imagine you sending your kids to school and they don't return? You know, all because another child. Man, it's just, you know, we got to do better, man. If you see something, I ain't gonna say something, but if you see something, at least, you know, do your best to kind of guide the youth in a different path. We are doing our best to create opportunities and different foundations and different programs to get these children on the right path. The ones that's you know looking at the rap videos and thinking all that's true. It's just like YouTube, man. A lot of this stuff is fake, make believe. This is nowhere near shape, form, or fashion something that you should want to emulate or bring it to fruition. Where, man, you know, I don't wish this on nobody, man, at all. But you know, enough of gloom and doom. Like I said, we got 52 minutes, man. Quick stories of back in those days, the good old days, I would say. On the John, as you can see it, and as you heard, all of us grew up together as a unit, as a you know, whether we argued amongst each other, whatever the case may be, we had slapbox matches. We you know got it on with each other inside the hallways and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, you know, we all were able to go back respectfully to our homes and our loved ones. Like nowadays, people argue and they really want to take each other out. It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth. Just imagine you sitting there and you get to drop on somebody and the gun jam on you, or you ain't got no bullets, or whatever the case may be, and that person is armed. Some situations, you know, I'm sorry, ain't gonna cut it. But I would like to say, you know, I do apologize to anybody who I violated back in them days. You know, I was a teen. Not to say that teens shouldn't be held accountable for their actions, but you know, you talking about 30 plus years ago, man. I'm grown now. I'm a grandfather and enjoying uh the finer things in life, man. Life. Uh yeah, so you know, y'all hung out with me, man. Y'all done listened to my story. I'm definitely not trying to preach to nobody. On this platform, on Super Trife platform, on Politics Usual, the one thing, and Uncle Nick TV, we're gonna get back to showing up content. We're gonna get back to giving y'all you know, current events, sports, whatever so may be, where we're giving something enlightening. If we could shed a little, you know, humor on dark situations, so be it. But you know, the ideally is really to get is to speak to the youth in a language and terminology that they would listen. They're constantly on YouTube. They constantly really looking for something to capture their mind or capture their uh, thought process. Um, there's a lot of platforms that's gonna continue to lead them down the wrong path. on this platform, we're gonna do our best to correct those wrongs, because, like I said, a lot of us have children, and our children have children. You know, y'all don't. None of us want that phone call, that dreaded phone call, man, at all. So if you know you don't want it, then don't do something to uh don't give that feeling to another family, another person in their family. You know, sometimes it's easier just to walk away. Wise. Salute, King. Already another young individual, young wise that grew up around the way. You know, respectfully. Like I said, man, we lived. Luckily, we can honestly say we lived through some times. What up, wise?
How you?
Man, oh man, oh man. First, I like to make sure I shout out the ladies of LRL, man. They did a phenomenal book bag drive. That whole day was dope.
Yes, that was great. I was really happy to be a part of that.
You know, all the individuals that got footage, you know, if y'all want to come on the platform and showcase you know, some positivity, by all means, you know, we could pick a day in the town to really.
It's too many people to name, but shout to LRL,
Yeah,
shout to everybody that participated, donated it, people that wanted to be there in spirit. 'Cause a lot of times, you know, we want people to support what we're doing, but we don't really be knowing people's situation. Sometimes it's hard for somebody to say I don't got it. So I don't want to be that person that says, "Oh, you didn't donate, you ain't." You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. If you could, do what you could do. But service is important. Giving back is very, very important.
you know what I feel it's healing. Like each and every drive that I do, or all the give backs, it heals a portion of me that remembers the taking. Like, you know, when you were addicted to taking or being a taker, you know, now being able to give back is so much more fulfilling. Like
Me,
the old
I remember the not having more than the taking, which really makes me feel good because like when I was in need, I didn't have nobody that really came through and you know what I mean. It was a lot of days I just wish like you ever be so broke you just wish you find $1 outside like
Mhm.
like I come from that. You know what I mean? And like people will be asking me, yo, why you always talking about that? Cause you can't forget it. You can't never separate yourself from what you come from. It ain't always gonna be what you are, but you can't separate yourself from what you come from, or you're going to be a different person. No, but not to be on a down note, but
No, that's what's up.
you touched on that shooting in Atlanta. Was it
Yeah,
Appalachian? I don't want to mispronounce such a serious situation.
the high school, the
The high
one
school.
yeah, that high school. It's
Shit. Why would you buy your
unfortunate, you know?
teenage son an AK-47?
Again, you know, a lot of these situations are, as much as we want to say, you know, the child had, you know, mental issues and so on and so forth. King Crego, salute. Uh, it falls on the parents, man. You like,
Shit.
who
What
does that?
reason? Tell me just what logical reason. Because we don't definitely do that when we come. We're not even going to give our child a handgun where we come from. No matter what we into, I mean, you got some kid parents that'll crash out and be like, let's go do something. But for them to just have it, like, here, this you, like a AK-47, tell me why you're going to give your child, your teenage child, and you can't use hunting. Nobody hunts with an AK. What reason that you got it? And if he got one, that means the father got one too. So why y'all need all them guns in your house? Now he looking at 180 years. So we had a big debate about this at my job. A lot of people was like, that's not fair. I don't think I would have came up with 180 years, but listen, people died.
I
And
do.
it's your fault, bro. 108, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn.
See, the people that say that that's not fair, that's because it didn't happen to their family.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like if it happened to your loved one or
You'll
someone
be
in your
talking about
family,
500 years.
yeah, you want the maxi on max, because that the repercussions behind that could have led to way more bloodshed. Because who knows if one of those kids' parents crash out and be like, you know what?
No, but he had an AK. He could have killed way more people himself.
That's another thing, So
And then it was the oh, they locked him. Okay, yeah, they didn't beat his ass. We know that. We already know that. That's it happens a lot. When they take them in custody, they take them in different. But listen, he got plenty of time for ass. Bro's never gonna see the street again. If the dad getting 180 years, you don't know what's the crazy number they gonna give him. Neither one of them is gonna be on the street again. The thing that really where the politics come in, because now this kind of stuff is falling on them now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more this happens, they're gonna have to do something, right? So watch they stop prosecuting their parents. If this dude gets this 180, because white people, no disrespect, don't take this the wrong way. White people have sympathy in court for other white people. That's just how it is. That's not a racial thing. That's a factual thing that I've seen throughout my life.
Yeah, I will say, they are very forgiving.
Look at the lady. Look at the Casey lady that killed her baby. They refuse to believe that white lady did that. Mm-hmm. They refuse to believe that she did that. All the evidence they had, that lady beat. They refuse to believe that a white lady could do that to her own child. Again, the law is the law. So, and this was crazy, right? The law is the law. With all that evidence, they went with the law, right? So nobody made a big deal about her getting off. The law is the law. OJ get off. Oh, the law is not right. No, that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he died, they were still talking shit about him. Like, come on.
Listen. How can I make sure I say this without being? But I'm just gonna go by facts.
Full disclaimer: these comments are for educational purposes.
Oh, we're gonna say allegedly.
We don't want to get you no strikes or nothing like that.
Yeah, we're gonna say allegedly. Because
we're just dealing with fact. There's no racial bias to what we're saying in a negative form. We're just talking about how life is where you come from, what we come from, and you've been in the courts like we've been in the courts.
I'm saying this to anyone that support the gun laws that's in place now. If they still can stand by they condone their teenage child having a full-blown assault rifle, I'm speaking. These conversations is towards them people.
Yeah, I just want to know. Tell me a logical reason why you're gonna get your child a stick. That's all I want to know.
Listen, I don't even buy. Listen, I'm gonna be brutally honest. My grandson can't even get a Nerf gun.
None of my kids grew up playing
none of them games, man.
At all.
Listen, I don't even want the most colorful water gun. I don't care if it's a super soaker. There's no gun play per se. That's just me though. Other people, you gonna parent differently. But again, I don't want my grandchild or child to go outside and they mistake it for a real firearm, and that's
my son was never allowed to play with toy guns.
No,
I did let him play with water guns, but nothing that looked like a replica of any kind of real gun.
Mm-mm.
You won't get that fascination from me.
Nah. Like I said, it's unfortunate, man. My prayers goes out to every single one of the family members that was affected. Because even the people who didn't get hit, if they was just in the school or they had a child in the school, that mentally does something to you. Can you imagine you sitting there, you at home, and you just reading across the news, the school that your child go to just got shot up, and now you can't get a hold of your child, and they ain't telling you nothing.
And you don't know which child is hurt, is crazy.
Man, listen, that is traumatizing, man.
And then look at the kids. You know they marched all them kids out the school and searched all them into the kids. They already under mad pressure. They don't know what's going on. And now they're getting searched by the police. Yeah, that's definitely all them kids got to go to therapy.
You know, by far, you know, to try to continue class the next week or the next few days is crazy, man. Let's just get back like this. You couldn't get, they ain't even got time to get the blood stains off the ground, let alone.
Here's the thing: school only been going down there 2 weeks. He can't even say he been getting bullied. You've been planning that shit. You've been planning that shit before school started.
See, and that's why the father is getting thrown some of that time, because the FBI had him on a watch list, allegedly, because he made threats of doing such a thing.
And we can't even blame them, because whatever he did, it wasn't enough for them to take the gun or to arrest him within the law. Because, you know, white law protect white man.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, the parent, who matter of fact, we're gonna do a poll and ask in the chat if you believe that the parent should be held responsible if they purchased the firearm and gave it to the child. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe in your heart that any parent that does something like that should be held accountable. If not, then, you know, put a 2. Be like, nah, you know, yeah, that's full of shit. That child, I don't care if I got it for him. He should have knew better. Nah, man. You know,
so just applying to this situation, not if your kid out there doing crime. I mean, if you buy your kid a gun and your kid unalive somebody with that gun, should you be in trouble? That's what you're asking, right?
Yep. Should you be held accountable? Knowingly, let's just make sure I say that knowingly. If you purchase a firearm and give to your child and they go out there and do something heinous, should you be held accountable? I'm a firm believer. I can't be bothered. I'm gonna say absolutely.
The way I see it,
absolutely.
I don't want to send the police to go get that person, but I'm not against the law that says they got to get them. Is that a fair answer?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not. How can I say? Like I said, I done been through too much for me to condone like pointing my finger on a stand at the next person that gets into. I can't honestly say that there's a situation that will cause me to point a finger from a witness stand. I can't do that. You know, different mechanics, different. I grew up in a different era, so it's kind of hard to revert all your things that you learned and go against all your codes.
When it comes to crime, it's the law, and that's it. It's legal and it's illegal. But when it comes to street shit, certain people that come from a certain element will sanction certain crimes. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. See, I'm gonna go far now. I'm gonna go real far, because let's just say, you know, here it is. Wise, you come from work, you go in the house, you know, you done took your shower, you about to, you know, lay it down, and you hear your car alarm go off, and you see from your window your car being took. Right? You go out there, by the time you get out there, they gone with your car. Few minutes later, the police come back. Like, hey, we have your car down the street, and this was the person driving it. Would you like to come down and identify?
They're not gonna let them go anyway. In a situation like that, first of all, unless you don't want no insurance, you gotta tell the police. in a situation like that, either if you say fuck your car, I don't know who's gonna say fuck their car, Chip. I ain't mean to step over you, but if you asking, do you let that go?
I'm sorry to say,
you can't let it go kill a person because they stole your car.
Nah.
You got insurance, things that you got to report. I like with the car. That's different. Now I kind of been in that situation. Look, I was living in a rumor house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of motherfuckers that hung there that didn't live there. It needs to be a lot of fuck shit going on. But because I'm a street dude, I ain't want to kick niggas out the hallway. I ain't want to lock the door. So I never said nothing. And plus, they wasn't fucking with me. But they was getting on my nerve. Every time I come home from work, niggas was in the hallway. It was just it was like a hangout. Where everybody was just hanging in there. Right? So it might have been 6 or 7 of us that lived there, but it's like 30 people here every day. Right? So my girl kept saying, stop opening the door for these niggas. You letting these niggas in the hallway. But where I come from, that's what we do. If a nigga trying to hang in the hallway and smoke, we open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Man, them niggas broke in my motherfucking shit. The first thing she said is your motherfucking fault. Right? So now I had the option. Was I going to call the police or was I going to let it ride? I had to eat it because I'm not a police caller. I didn't know which one of them did it now. It's not like niggas was just walking around with my shit. You know, I made a lot of noise. Niggas knew. It would have been an inkling if that I knew who did it. But after that, it was way different. The landlord changed the lock. He compensated me for a little couple of things, but I still took a loss. But now nobody couldn't hang in there. But I had a reason now to tell them they couldn't hang in there. Somebody broke in my shit. But I definitely had to eat that, though. Because I'm not a cop caller, and I wasn't going to, tell. It was really nothing I could do.
Yeah, like I see the me now, the 49-year-old Chip is more of the compromising and trying to. I still depend like how severe the crime is that the person did. If you do any type of pedophilia thing, I ain't gonna lie, you going to jail. I don't.
All right,
care.
so let me ask you this, Chip.
You going to jail?
Since we on this lane, you looking out your window and you see a dude or whatever just snatch a lady off the street. You calling 911? He got her on the ground trying to do whatever. Would you call the police on him?
Now,
or do you take a chance and go outside, not really knowing how that could go?
See, the younger me, probably would have went outside and hey, listen, cut it out and that. The me now, that nigga going to jail. I'm sorry to say, first of all, you're gonna bring down my property value if you're outside my house doing some more crazy stuff. Depending on how close you is to my house.
I could just see myself, even though I'm in my crib and nobody can see it, I could see myself still whispering to 911. you know you're doing the right thing. It's just something about calling the police or something that it just goes against what we do.
Listen,
you can't really sit there and just watch a dude do that and act like you didn't see nothing though. No, as a man, you can't do that.
First of all, I'm a civilian now, so as a civilian, if I gotta abide by rules and laws and so on and so forth, I feel the next person is responsible for that as well. Like I keep telling people, I keep letting people know, right? I'm not a snitch by no means. Now, here is a circumstance where me will tell. If I come pick Wise up to go to work, right? We get to the corner of the block, and as soon as we get to the corner of your block, the cop put their sirens on and lights, and you turn to me and say, Chip, man, what we gonna do? I'm dirty as shit. I'm like, right now, Wise, you going to jail that day, my brother.
Or you gonna jump out and run. You got two choices.
You
got two choices. You could jump out. I'm gonna slow down. Oh, they got us pulled over, right? Yeah, you got two choices. Either you could just tell them this, whatever you got is yours, or you could jump out and run.
Now, let's go with that first option, that jump out and run. When you jump out and run, make sure you take whatever got you dirty.
Oh, you gotta take that with you. You can't jump out and run and leave that. Nah, because if you do that, I gotta tell them. You see the dude that red? I gotta tell them that. There's no way. Listen, first of all, I'm not that type of street dude. I'm not taking no gun charge that you jumped out of my car and the code say I gotta go up north now and lose everything I got because you jumped out of the car with a gun I didn't even know you had. That's not gonna happen.
I think it's different. It's different if I know, like I know Wise is always holding that. I'm gonna let you listen. We you on your way going to work, Playboy. You good? Yeah, them things in the house. All right, cool. We could proceed. If I know and I still willingly take you, then I'm willing to take that chance with you. If that makes sense. But if I don't know,
because if it's your thing, listen, you cannot jump out of this car and leave your criminating stuff in my vehicle for me to go down. You can't do that. Remember, we going to work, so I don't do whatever you got. I don't do that. No matter if I know you got it or not. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever move you make it, I don't make that move. You cannot jump out my vehicle and leave your incriminating evidence for me. That right there, again, I gotta say, you see the dude that ran? Why you think he ran?
Wise, what we gonna do? I got it's under your seat. Like what?
First of all, you must have wasn't paying no attention because it can't be under my seat. First of all, what are you doing? See, this is the shit that really used to happen back in the days. Dudes used to be so soft that they let motherfuckers just get in their car with anything and take charges for shit they ain't do. And that in jail all being 730 under all kind of pressure and motherfuckers talking about, oh yeah, he's stupid. Now you stupid. You ain't no stand up. You ain't no G. You stupid.
Yeah, you.
One thing I'm never gonna do, I can't eat your charge. I can't eat your charge. This was even back in the day, even though I never been put in that situation where I had to do. I'm not eating your charge. Look, if me and you outside, I'm on the block, you on the block, we bubbling, whatever we doing. Something pop up that don't got nothing to do with me, and you do whatever you do, and they lock us up, bro. You got about 10 or 15 minutes to say he don't got nothing to do with that. Because I don't. For real. No, for real. I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna go for that. Because you were high head and you did whatever you did right there on the spot, and they bag both for because you know a lot of times when they come, they grab everybody that's outside. Or people that's known for whatever. So I'm just sitting there like nothing. Oh, I ain't do it, and he saying he ain't do it. And the dude saying he did it, nah, I'm not. No, listen, bro.
You got what? A few more minutes. I'm gonna run into the store real quick. All right, so let me run to this picture really, really quickly. This person right here. That's my man Little. Right now it's stunt low, Now, all one thing I can say is like out of a lot of my homeboys, I was older than a lot of them, but they get super busy. We always back then we all got real busy, right? To make a long story short, we was put in a situation where we walked into a party, and as soon as we walked in, all the lights in the party went out, and all you hear is mad shots. The lights come back on, and somebody standing in the middle of the floor holding a gun, and his head is leaking. And his homeboy is like, yo, just shoot in the crowd. Fuck it. One of them still got to be here. Just let it loose in the crowd.
One of them niggas shot you.
So
that's fucked up, but it's kind of logical.
Needless to say, we get up out of there, right? Get back to the block. Like I said, we used to always party in the basement, right? We get back to the block, they like, listen, I want to go to the store, get some Dutch Masters, I'm like, all right, I'm chilling, I'm staying in the party. They go to the store, the females run back to the party. Like, yo, they got them on the floor. Who got them on the floor? The police. What? We run up there. What's going on? I don't know, son. They handcuffed us and got us. I'm like, yo, officer, excuse me, but they was just with me. Whatever y'all try, there's some foolishness. Or they was just with you. Put your hand on the car. As soon as I put my hand on the car, they were like, positive ID, and it started cuffing me. So my sisters run, get my mom. Boom, they like, just hold your head. I'll get that to the precinct. No lineup, no nothing. It's like 7 of us, right? This is exactly what they said. Now, mind you, at the time, I was on parole at the time, right? I was home on work release. The rest of them ain't got no charges, no felonies like that, right? The officers came to me and said, listen, all you got to say is that person was there and you don't know if he had a gun or not. And we'll let you go right now. Wrote report, nothing to your PO. Your time served, you gone, case dismissed, it's a wrap. All you got to say is these words. He was there, and you don't know if he had a gun or not. Wise, I'm here to let you know that little guy I just showed you just came home from doing 25 off that case. That case we had nothing to do with.
That's
at all.
Fucked up.
And I'm gonna tell you, I took the case to trial. We went to trial together. In the pre-trial hearing, when they played the 911 call, they were like, "Hey, some guys surrounded me, and they robbed me, and then they just start shooting. They was dark skinned with dreadlocks." My attorney turned to the judge, "Your Honor, my defendant is light skinned, and he didn't have dreadlocks a day in his life." They were like, "Case dismissed." So all of us that was light skinned, our case was dismissed. Everybody who didn't have dreads, case was dismissed. He had long dread. He had dreads at the time, but he was short. He wasn't tall, and he was brown skin. So they basically said in court that in the nighttime, his image appeared to make him look taller than what he really was. And one of the 7 took that deal of, we was there, but I don't know if he had a gun or not. And he blew
that
trial.
Fuck up anybody who's saying, I don't even know what y'all talking about.
Yep. Yeah, so word to the wise, y'all. Some of the times your homeboys, your closest, your family members, when facing years, they're gonna say the inevitable to get themselves out of hot water. Scorpio Mama, salute, Queen. They're gonna say whatever they need to say to protect themselves. So
it's really a tough situation because look at the amount of time he got. Thinking that you're going, some people can't even face the thought of thinking they're gonna get that kind of time.
Listen.
Everybody ain't, and then especially when you didn't do nothing. It's not even like, based on what you're telling me, it's not even like, something went down that got something to do with y'all and motherfucker, did some sucker shit. Nigga basically like told the truth.
It was basically mistaken identity.
It's still fucked up that he would do that much time off of that.
Listen, they didn't play. He blew Child at 20 to 40. Out of the 20, he did 25.
And the dude, whoever, whatever it was, probably know that he ain't had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, because we all was together. He know damn well. So now, mind you,
Yeah, I can't let a man get.
you tell your
That bad.
homeboy who now came home. What you tell him? Oh, my bad. So, hey, nice to see you.
That got to be one of those situations where I just gotta stay away from you. It ain't
Yeah.
because all you gonna do is make me go back. It ain't nothing we could talk about. What you gonna say to me? Like you said, there's nothing you can say. Look, one thing I cannot do is knowingly let a man do that much time for something I know he didn't do.
As scared as hectic as the situation was, if anything, they was gonna railroad me. Why? Because I had priors for everything we've been charged with. Yeah, they did not. Like I said, and I was currently on, and I'm the oldest one out of all of them. So if anything, it would have been, hey,
It's like
I
it's like a motherfucker getting caught with an ounce, and he on his own he's somewhere doing whatever. He get caught with an ounce, but say, oh, I know a motherfucker got 30 birds. So you gonna get me all day for some shit I don't got nothing to do with it because you don't want to be in for an ounce. That is disgusting.
Yeah,
right? You don't want to do a year or two for something that don't got shit to do with me. So you gonna put me in some shit gonna get me all day.
That's nasty work there, man.
It is a lot of motherfuckers that's in right now over that same kind of shit.
Yes, sir.
Because a motherfucker got caught with one thing and they just put them on a whole nother motherfucker who don't got nothing to do with what they doing to save themselves. That is some foul shit to do to a person. I'm over here, I'm doing everything the way I needed to be doing that. My door fly off because motherfucker told because he got caught doing some shit that don't got nothing to do with me. That's crazy. Right? Motherfucker get caught with a gun and say, oh, but I know about these 5 bodies that this dude got. So you're going to get me all day or another dude, hypothetically, you're going to get somebody else all day because you don't want to take your own gun charge. And you probably was outside with that for no reason any fucking way.
Well, let me do this. Got an hour and a half in. It is a Friday. Get to the family, get to, enjoying the weekend. I'll probably try to drop some fishing content for y'all somewhere down the line. Be on the lookout. I am about to open up a spot. Yeah, just know that we taking the whole branding and all the apparel to a whole nother level. We doing our best to keep good quality and just keep cranking on the apparel. Other than that, I know I said I wasn't. What I am going to do, for everybody who hung out, right? The next live, y'all make sure y'all pull up. I'm gonna do long as you comment it in the chat, I'm gonna do a raffle for, not a raffle. I'm gonna give away at least 2 of the books. I'm gonna just do one of them draws where just pull one of the names out of whoever commented, and they'll get a autographed copy of the book, and I'll send it out to y'all.
From this live or in the next live?
See, so I'm trying to think. It got to be a way for me to save this live.
Screenshot the chat list.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a quick spin, and then it'll let me know who won this one, and then I'll do one in the next one. Empress Cat, salute, Queen. That's what I'm doing before I get off. All right, so let me trying to remember how to do this. All right, hold on. So, like I said, it's gonna be 2 copies of the book. What is it called? Let me make sure I say this too on air. Anything that we give away is this has nothing to do with YouTube. It is YouTube is not responsible for any of these transactions. Anything that you receive is strictly from us, per se. So let me do this. Let me share my screen. Let's see if I could. Okay. So whoever commented in the chat, long as you made a comment. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Let me go to the page real quick. I want to make sure that there's any comment. All right. So let me come back and share the screen real quick. Y'all can see this?
You say giveaway too.
All right, hold on.
Giveaway too.
Yeah. Let me start collecting the comments. So it says 18 people commented. It's gonna do a draw, and then just good luck to the winner. I don't know if y'all can still see this, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so the winner, good old buddy Skin. I definitely got an autographed copy of the book for you. That's the one on this one. And I'm gonna send you out a bookmarker because all the books I got bookmarkers for. Matter of fact, the bookmarker look like this. I don't know if you can see this. So Skin, get with me on IG or anyone in the chats, and I'll make sure I get that out to you. But yeah, get your bookmarker. And like I said, the next live that we do, I'm gonna do another drawing, and it's gonna be for another autographed copy of the book, and then that'll be enough of this giveaway. Like I said, YouTube is not responsible for any of these items, any promises of receiving anything from these giveaways. I don't know why they have the content creators saying that, but it's something that we gotta say. So appreciate everybody for pulling up. Wise, you already, man. We're gonna get together and do some things. Appreciate you for pulling up. Everybody in the chat, love y'all like cook food. Let me see this. Let me get this.
Yeah. Salute to the chat.
Yeah,
Chip, as always, it's always an honor and a pleasure to pull up and sit with y'all.
Man, listen, I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. So let me play this outro. But yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next live. I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow or Monday. Somewhere between tomorrow and Monday. Which would be
All right. Salute everybody. Peace.
Salute. Everybody. Appreciate the pull up. And on that note, we out.